Harrison Sullivan, the humiliating influencer narcissist. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. The name Harrison Sullivan probably won't mean much to many of you, although it might be the case that you have children, particularly a son who has heard of him. And once again, there is the instance of a narcissist that is utilizing the internet to assert control, to do so over followers whilst engaging in devaluing behaviours. As I've done on many occasions, I identify these individuals so that you can be aware of what this person actually is and what's actually behind the behaviours. Sean Bradley writes in the Times, to more than 500,000 young men, Harrison Sullivan, known online as HS Tiki Toki, sells the dream. Get rich and swan around in the sun with a new woman every day. That is creating a facade, an image of having wealth, an image of having a life of luxury and leisure, an image of being irresistible to lots of different women. Yet in truth, the 23-year-old influencer is on the run from Surrey police for skipping court in relation to several driving offences, lack of accountability, sense of entitlement, including allegedly failing to stop after crashing a £200,000 McLaren motor vehicle. This has not halted his rise to online fame. He met Louis Theroux to feature in the journalist's forthcoming documentary series. Emulating the figure of pickup artist, self-improvement guru, popularised by Andrew Tate, see parts pass him, he's often compared to Tate, but, grandiosity, insists he makes more money than Tate. Followers clamour to watch Sullivan flirt with and insult women for sport. Flirtation shows a lack of boundary recognition. Insulting them shows a basic manipulation by way of devaluing behaviour. And he takes this because it comes naturally to him as a means of monetizing it, which further belittles those individuals and demonstrates how he objectifies those individuals. It's part of a digital world termed the manosphere, and Sullivan has made a business out of it. Sullivan claims to make money from women, objectification, trading and social media content, and often live streams his wins and losses while gambling. Followers are baited with pictures of Sullivan with women, triangulation, some of whom he jokes about owning. Well, he might describe it as a joke, but subconsciously he does believe that he owns them, and he describes himself as a pimp, which directs them to the two elements of his business model: promoting access to financial advice, or acting as teasers for OnlyFans, an online subscription service known for explicit content. Why don't you boys fix up? Sullivan asks his followers. Why spend days scrolling social media or dossing around, smoking, drinking, forgetting about your shit, miserable life, when he can double their money? This, of course, is the seduction. I can offer you the holy place of money, of sun, of sex. Sullivan assures that trading on foreign and cryptocurrencies is so easy it can be done alongside work and school, with his help, of course. This demonstrates his grandiosity, but also the lack of accountability, and the people that he's targeting, school children. In October 2024, the Financial Conduct Authority warned against using Sullivan's unauthorised service and to beware of scams. Anyone who now tries to contact Sullivan's support line on Telegram is hit with a message to confirm they are over 18 and have funds to invest. Sullivan offers free access to this advice. Previously, he has offered payment plans, residual benefit, in the group, and other times requested a minimum £300 deposit to invest. Sullivan's other business is women. He bragged about creating a pimp channel on Telegram, boastfulness, grandiosity, writing 2k thumbs up and I'll get one of my blonde tings to get her muff out. Basically, lavish me with admiration and I'll utilize one of my objects to cause her to show her genitals. He says he deserves sex with her, entitlement, after a hard day's work. He expects, entitlement, to have sex with women who fly out to see him, calling it a value exchange. Naturally, it's a method of control, the drawing of fuel, and a residual benefit. Sullivan employs humour and nonchalance. His police mugshot is his Telegram profile picture. He posted about his cars being impounded by Dubai police for speeding and was caught having a street fight in Magaluf. He has, on at least 3 occasions, told women he spoke to on the street that they aren't being filmed while they are. Lie. Lack of boundary recognition. Fans laugh as he tells women their breasts sag to their knees, a tactic known as negging, where backhanded compliments, standard manipulation of the narcissist, are used to undermine a woman's confidence and make her seek approval. He jokes that his friend should pay him to sleep with a woman who launched her OnlyFans account after she flew to Dubai and met him. He contracted an STI, told his followers, oversharing, lack of boundary recognition, then shared texts from the humiliated woman in the Telegram group, breach of confidence, lack of boundary recognition, absence of emotional empathy. He lashed out at a woman, threatening, use of threat, to call the police in respect of an allegation that he filmed her and posted it without her consent. Lack of boundary recognition, lack of accountability. He said, even top-tier women will slut it out for a top-tier man. I'm a high-value man, that's why I smashed it. Sullivan chastised another woman with crude insults for lying about her age, use of insult, with the two of them joking that she was 17 or 18 when she slept with him. Sullivan posted a picture of himself captioned, "Nonce time," when she said while sitting on his lap during a live stream video that if she could do anything she would go home alone. He told her, "That's not allowed. That's not part of the choice." Assertion of control. Rebecca Hitchin, the head of policy and campaigns at End Violence Against Women, said misogynistic influencers rely on the humiliation and degradation of women and girls to create content, the commodifying of those individuals and objectification. They know that problematic algorithms reward extreme behaviour on platforms. While influencers may attempt to downplay this as humour, lack of accountability, it is underpinned by entitlement, power and control, which fuels the abuse of women and girls. In other words, engaging in this behaviour encourages others to behave in a similar fashion towards women. That idolising this individual means that it creates an acceptability of this behaviour so that it becomes normalised. Women quit jobs and left university to live in a villa in Dubai with Sullivan, who offered them an all-expenses-paid yacht party lifestyle. One woman later spoke of being humiliated in front of millions of people, humiliation as a means to control, lack of emotional empathy. Others have since distanced themselves from him. He also told viewers that exposure was not free, refusing to promote a woman's Instagram when she wouldn't show her viewers her breasts. After an argument broke out between women staying with him, Sullivan said, "We convinced them not to leave." In a caption on a selfie in Telegram, Sulfi said he demands sexual favours each morning. Demand, assertion of control, lack of boundary recognition, sense of entitlement. A woman was filmed during intimate acts, lack of boundary recognition. Once he panicked and stopped filming when his phone illuminated a woman's head in a dark room, advising his friends to make sure the flash isn't on. Since OnlyFans exploded in 2020, a new business model has emerged. Agencies that handle management for a cut of the profits. The practice can be costly for creators, who often lose control. One woman believed she was filming a reality TV show, which Sullivan said was a misunderstanding because a member of his team had said that she would be. Blame shifting. Instead, Sullivan told her he was buying a villa in Dubai for 4 to 6 women to make content, both with him and for OnlyFans and Telegram. In a sales call for recruits, Sullivan said showing their tits might make £10,000 a month, but being filmed on a balcony engaging in a more explicit act would make a lot more money. Encouragement through prostitution. A colleague would tell them what to make or post. Again, objectification of these individuals for the purposes of residual benefit. Other young men seem to be copying Sullivan's tactic, approaching women on social media to make adult content for a cut of the profits, and using that engagement to promote risky cryptocurrency investments. Sullivan has previously offered advice on managing women on OnlyFans. He was director of a modelling agency, Exclucci Limited, that did this and which was struck off the register at Companies House last year. Records show 3 other dissolved companies listed Sullivan as a director. Online figures like Sullivan are dangerously appealing to young men because they play on their insecurities, the promise of quick wealth, social status, and endless female attention, according to Matt Pinkett, a teacher and author of 2 books about masculinity, Boys Do Cry and Boys Don't Try. I see Sullivan's message as the latest iteration of the manosphere myth, that to be a man is to dominate sexually, financially, physically, he said. He frames exploitation as fun, inevitable, even aspirational. This leaves boys thinking they must choose between being the exploiter or being the exploited. Before social media fame, Sullivan played football, became a karate black belt and worked at a bar near his hometown of Brentwood in Essex in the United Kingdom. He now has more than 500,000 subscribers on HS Tiki World, a Telegram channel launched in 2022. He has also found a home for provocative content on the live streaming platform Kick. Followers watch him boxing, gambling and, of course, talking to women. For confused and insecure boys, Sullivan feels relatable. Tate, with his cigars, lair and exaggerated bravado, comes across like a cartoon villain, Pinkett said. HS Tiki Toki, by contrast, is instantly recognisable, the English Jack the Lad. To a teenager who feels unseen or powerless, Sullivan's lure of money without effort, sex without intimacy, and confidence without vulnerability is magnetic. The fact is, of course, that he's seen as a Jack the Lad, but in reality, you're witnessing the behaviour of a narcissist, an individual who operates with a sense of entitlement, an individual that thrives on admiration because he requires that fuel, one who operates without any sense of accountability for his behaviours, who utilises manipulations, that treats people, particularly women, as objects, that lacks boundary recognition, that is haughty and is dismissive, that is preoccupied with fantasies of success, an individual who exhibits that he has no emotional empathy. Time and time again, Sullivan demonstrates that he is a narcissist, and it is important for people to recognise how this narcissist behaviour bleeds into the mainstream, causing impressionable young men to believe that such behaviour is appropriate and merited. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.